Good afternoon and welcome to the Windsor Star's Net News at noon. Some grim news to start off the show, folks. Nearly 400 Ford workers are going to be out of a job come November 1st. This was just announced this morning by CAW Local 200 President Dan Cassidy. The affected shift at the Windsor engine plant, it employs 489 workers, but 101 of them are going to be added to a second shift over at the Essex engine plant, and that's for a net loss of 388 jobs. And some other news that's bad for the local economy, the Red Bull Air Race, they've announced this morning that they're going to be running no shows globally for 2011, not in Windsor, not anywhere. Officials announced they were taking this hiatus for safety reasons, and as well there was some suggestion of commercial and organizational reasons as well. We're going to find out what it means for Windsor and Essex County and the businesses here, and we're going to have more for it on you in tomorrow's paper. Some other breaking news this morning, fire crews were kept hopping by a blaze that broke out at a recycling depot in the 700 block of Central. We're going to have more on that for you later as well. Coming up a little bit later, Ben Nelms, one of our photographers, he skedaddled over to Battle Creek yesterday to get some great shots of that oil spill that's making waves in Michigan, you know, dirty Canadian oil invading Michigan, and we're going to have a gallery posted just as soon as I can get that done. Now, of course, there's grim news about the Ford jobs. That comes on the heels of yesterday's news about the closure of the GM transmission plant after 90 years in Windsor. Grace Macaluso, she's written a compelling story about that. You should check out. And as well, Jason Crick, he shot a really cool video of the last shift there, the workers punching out the clock, and a photo gallery. So make sure you check that out. It's a historic day. It's going to be a big impact, obviously, not just on these workers and their families, as Grace points out in her story, but the businesses that depended on their patronage as well, property taxes for the city. And, of course, these guys were so charitable, these men and women who worked there, more than $20 million to local charities through the years. So this community is definitely going to miss that. And here's one that sort of came out of nowhere. Windsor Mayor Eddie Francis and all 10 city councillors are being sued individually for $125 grand by the Ambassador Bridge Company. Here's a copy of the statement of claim. I'm going to do a PDF of this and get it on the website so you can peruse it yourself. Some pretty wild allegations that haven't been proven in court. The bridge is accusing them of, this is a great word, misfeasance and unlawful interference and conspiracy in a bid to gain financially by backing the Drick Bridge and selling city-owned land. Remember, they sold that land in Brighton Beach for a pretty penny to the federal government. Anyway, we're going to have the lawsuit posted for you online. Check it out. Sticking with city politics, Rick Limoges, he hasn't filed his papers, but boy, is he ever talking like he wants to give Eddie Francis a run for his money. In an interview yesterday, he wouldn't even mention Francis by name. He just kept referring to him as the incumbent, which is sort of a classic political trick. He's already met with local 444 boss Rick Laporte, to talk about the issue. And Laporte, remember, he's got a 2 p.m. I think it is presser today to announce his intentions for mayor. When he learned Eddie was going to run again, he sort of said, hey, maybe I should throw my hat into the ring, and he's going to end the suspense today at 2 o'clock. In some other news, Toyota, they're recalling 412,000 passenger cars, mostly the Avalon models, not brakes this time or accelerator pedals, but steering problems. And this, a woman from London, Ontario was attacked by a bear in Yellowstone National Park, and she did the classic. She played dead, and the bear left her alone. Still, some pretty severe damage to her leg and arm, but she survived. Another man who was attacked by the bear did not. Okay, in sports, the Spits, remember them? They inked goalie Jack Campbell yesterday. He's going to play for the Spits now. Now, this goalie, remember, is a superstar American. He stood on his head and he denied the Canadian boys the gold medal in the World Juniors. Also, Spits defenseman Cam Fowler, he's inked a 3-year deal with the Ducks. And the Spits have unveiled a new third jersey. Okay, out to Kingsville, a little rain delay yesterday, but they were back on track at the Canadian Women's Golf Amateurs. Some California golfers are leading the pack. Locally, Erica Rivard and Cheryl Damphouse, they're tied for 20. Those are the top local golfers, and kudos to 13-year-old Alyssa Getty. She made the cut. Good on you. And hey, Dave Bell from Tecumseh Golf, he tees off today, this morning, in fact, at the Senior U.S. Open in Washington State. He's playing with Don Pooley and Steve Hudson, and get this, he's playing in a group behind Corey Pavin and 2 groups ahead of Hale Irwin, so that's some pretty cool stuff. Go Dave, check back for updates. Lots of stories we're following, folks. We'll see you later on. Rick Laporte, big news conference online and on your porch. We are the Windsor Star.